Okay, so we are going to do our project recipe for Autumn Cottage. This one takes 4 sheets of pattern paper. We're going to be using 2 of those for the base pages and then 2 for cutting. Okay, so that'll be our layering and photo mats and all that on our page. And then we're going to need our sticker sheets. I was looking at these earlier and they are so cute. They've even included some hiking things in here, which I just totally love. And this one says autumn hike. So I was like, wow, they did a great job on these stickers. I mean, I like this whole collection, but it's funny because I love fall paper, but we don't really have fall really in California. But I don't know. I love fall paper, so I will find a use for it. And these stickers do not disappoint. Okay, so we need 4 pieces of pattern paper, our sticker sheet. This recipe calls for the gourd time punch, but if you're not using these papers, then I would pick a punch that relates to your papers. And then we get to use our custom cutting system. The circles, we are going to be using the medium template with the green blade. I'm going to talk about the base pages first. Just so happens that these are my 2 favorite papers in the whole collection. I love wood grain, which we now have a whole pack. So that's awesome. So I'm not really too worried about saving it necessarily, but what we have here in the project recipe, I need to scoot over just a tad. I'm not under my camera. There we go. What they're doing here is they're using the whole piece and then we're covering it up with this band of photos in the middle. So I was doing some calculations and realized that the piece that is exposed is a 2.5 inch at the top and at the bottom. We're losing about 7 inches here. And I'm just saying this in case you want to save paper and not waste a whole piece of, a whole 7 inches of your background. And the same thing on the other page. So what I'm going to do is I am going to save paper because this is the first time I'm cutting into this collection. So whenever it's my first time, I'm always like, I have to save every piece of paper. So I'm going to cut it today and save this chunk in the middle. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a 3-inch cut. And so I'll cut it right in half and I'll use half for the top and half for the bottom of that 6-inch piece. Save the other 6-inch piece for something else. I'm going to do that on both of those, but you will need to either be very creative with welding or wallpaper it onto something. So I would rather sacrifice a piece of white cardstock or, some of the inserts. So I have one insert and I'm running out of inserts. So, and I have one piece of pad of white cardstock that is a little dinged up. So I thought, perfect. I'm going to cover it up anyway. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to step away a little bit from the pattern already, but if you're okay with just covering it up, then that's fine too. Okay, so again, it's going to be a 6-inch cut. This is a directional piece for me. I want it to go up and down like they have here. I like that look. So I need to turn it. So pay attention. If yours is directional, it will be popping out here and over here. This next piece won't be. Okay, so 6 inches. And I'll save that for a future layout. And then this one I'm going to trim into 3 inches. One for the top and one for the bottom. Same thing with this one. 6 inches. Save that for a future layout. And cut this one in half at 3 inches as well. One for the top and one for the bottom. Okay, now we're going to get into the regular cutting guide for the rest of the paper. And we're going to use both sides because they're going to reverse them. And we'll start with the pumpkins. And this one is directional as well. They kind of tell you how to put it in. So I'm going to turn it so my pumpkins will be then turned around. These are for vertical photos. Let's talk about that real quick too, because this is pretty easy to switch around if you have horizontal photos. Let me move this out of the way. If you have horizontal photos instead of vertical, you can easily turn the paper like this and then put your photos down here in the center. But what I would probably do is I probably would do something like this, and this is just a suggestion. Now that I've cut my papers especially, I can do this. Match those two up and bring the brown to the outside. I feel like it's a little bit more uniform doing it this way. I'm not going to put photos on mine tonight. I'm just going to make some base pages because I had my photos I did pick out, I had half vertical and half horizontal, and I just wasn't, I want to make the page first and see if I can flip it around. Okay, so I'm going to go back to what it originally is. But it can be done if you have all horizontal photos and you want to swap it around. That's the good thing about this one. This one, I feel like we are going to be able to use this recipe over and over. And we're going to do our pumpkins, the pumpkin page. Okay. So the first thing that we want to do is a 6.5-inch cut. We're going to make 3 photo mats. And they're going to be 6.5 by 4 inches. So we do our 6.5-inch first. And then we can turn it and do the 4-inch. Two of those are going to go on the left-hand side, and one will go on the right hand. Okay, then we're going to flip it over. And we are going to cut 4 strips of 3/4 inch each. So 4 of them. And these are going to be for the top and bottom of the bands. So that's 3/4 of an inch. And we need 4 of those. 2 for each side. And one more. And then this piece we're going to save and punch out some pumpkins with that one. So we'll put that aside. And then we're going to bring in our plaid. And this one's the same thing. We're going to cut 3 photo mats. And again, we need 6.5 inches. And we need 3 of those. And so they're going to be by 4 inches each. Oops. This time 1 on the left-hand side and 2 on the right-hand side. Okay, and then this one, we're going to flip it over and use it to cut our circles. Let me grab my other mat. And what we're cutting right now is this big circle for here, and they cut it in half and use it on both sides. So this one is going to be the medium circle with the green blade on the outside. So I always like to double check, make sure I'm gonna have the clearance over here. I'm trying to get as close to the edge as possible, so it'll work. There we go. We'll come back and cut that one because we still need to do a few more. We need 4 circles now using the inside track of the medium circle still and the green blade. So let's see. We need a little bit left over here to make some pumpkins. Okay, so 4 of these. 2 for each side. I'm gonna come a little closer over here. Oops. 2. 3. Okay, and there's 4. Like I said, we'll keep this piece for some pumpkins, it looks like. I'm gonna clean mine up a bit here. Okay, we're done with our custom cutting system. And the last thing we have to do is cut the big circle. We're gonna cut that right in half. Uh-oh, little flower. It's about a 5-inch. Actually, I'm just gonna fold it first in half, give it a little pinch up there so I know where the center point is exactly, and go right to the edge of my trimmer with that little crease I just did, which is going to put us right about 2.5 inches because it was about a 5-inch circle, and it doesn't have to be perfect. And there we go, one for each side. Okay, let's bring these back down and we are ready to assemble. So far, so good. Okay, so it says on here to take these strips and come up. Remember, mine is a little bit more because I wanted to make sure okay. If I would have cut it and butted it up right next to it, it's gonna have that a little bit more of a rougher seam. So because I gave myself a little bit of extra, I can come down and lay it on top, and it's gonna look more like it's layered up on top of the paper. Okay, and it says here actually to adhere this approximately 2 inches up from the top. And the bottom, of course, I mean, from the base. So the top and the bottom. But that's going to be way up here. I guess they gave a little extra for adhering these. I just want to make sure everything's going to fit before I go through the, oops, that's the middle one. Okay, that'll be okay. They gave a little bit extra room for these photos, but that's okay. Because we basically want to end up with these in the center and then this right up next to the bottom. And yeah, that's right at 2 inches. Okay, let's go with that. You want to make sure it's straight. Bring in a T ruler. 2 inches. And I'm going to get my repo tape because just in case. I need a T-square that reaches all the way to the other side. Is my other? No, it doesn't. Because there's the 13-inch mat. I think I'll put my mats in place first before I attempt to put that last one on, just in case. And then this last strip will come and sit right on top of our photo mats like that. I'm not really too concerned about where this one is sitting, although it does look like it's sitting exactly about 2 inches down. Okay. And there's page number 1. And our circle is going to go like that. We're going to put our half circle here. And then we'll take 2 more circles here. And these are like for little embellishment clusters. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this. I'm going to hold off on the other one just in case. They have a little bit of orange exposed right there. That's the first side. And then let's do this. Okay, so this one's gonna come right up here. Oh, they did. Okay, I'm like, why doesn't it fit? Okay, but I'm looking at the recipe and they are going over they did on this side too. Okay, so they come all the way down on the orange. I don't know why my green is much bigger on that side, but we'll go with it because it's not a huge deal. Um, and a little bit of orange showing through. There's plenty of room to move this if you wanted to do something a little different. Okay, and then these two circles will go right up here. And I think they have them actually in a little bit touching the orange strip. And there we go. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just put a little bit of adhesive on these to hold them in place in case I change my mind. Whoops, I was just looking at how I want the pattern to go. Oh, the darker down. I went a little too high on that one. And then these, same thing. Okay. That was pretty quick. And now we're just going to embellish. Dip into these beautiful stickers. We're not going to use the border stickers on this one. I mean, unless you wanted to, you could always bring it in and cover up some of those seams if you wanted to. But if we're following it the way they designed it, we don't need to. They use this one down here. Leaves are falling, autumn is calling. And it's cute. They put that one right over here. I'm just gonna put a little powder on it so I can play around a little bit more because I know I'm gonna not want that just floating off over there. So am gonna come back and play around a little more with that one. And they have it kind of at a tilt. I think I might, for now, straighten it out just a bit. Up here, they use these gorgeous trees. They use two. They use this one right here. And I believe this one. Yeah, I think it's the orange and red one. So the yellow one and then the orange and red one. Pretty sure I'll be keeping those the way they are. So I'm not going to put powder on it. So what they did was I don't have pictures yet, so it's okay. The picture will go under. And then this one goes up. I think I want to bring that red one down just a tad, if I can. I rubbed it pretty good. Yeah, it's going to stay. And I'll just put the yellow one up. It's going to go above the circle, but that's okay. That's how I like it anyway, to kind of come off and look like it's not so uniformed. And then they used this cute sticker here. It says Chris Fall Days. Double checking, but yes, it does. And they put that one right here. And I'm going to bring it all the way down to the bottom to cover up that trunk. I think I'm going to put it on a little bit of foam, some bit small foam. Huh, that was from earlier. I must have rolled that up in my mat. Okay. But here we go. Let's turn it upside down. It's gonna need some, I might have to actually cut some of these. Whenever I want to cut one of them for the small areas, I keep ones at the edge and I cut those. You can see over here, I did that a lot. Sometimes you just need a little teeny tiny piece and not such a big one. And we're gonna put it right over there. Okay, let's put this aside in case we want to do some more. I'm gonna bring this down here because I want to trim this little trunk. Okay. Yeah, that's going to go right there. I like it, so I'll commit to it. And I have it up on the foam tape. I'll be able to slide a photo right in there when I'm ready. Okay, I think the rest we're going to do some punching with our gourd time punch with those scrap papers that we had left over. And yeah, it looks like they just did about 4 punch outs. So if you're not using this theme, you could do probably 4 if it's a bigger punch, and just whatever you punch out is going to go right on top of the circles. Okay, so these are going to be cute. I've learned with my gourd punch, I do it I put it in upside down instead of I was having a full disclosure, I was having a little bit of challenge when I would put it this way, especially with cardstock, and it was getting stuck. So I turned it over, and it's been working just fine. So yeah, don't know about that. I might have to get some of that lube stuff. Okay, so I did 2 of those, and they're double-sided. We'll see if we want more. And 2 of these. Some of them came out with the pumpkin, so I don't know. Well, the little ones are cute. I guess you can really, if you wanted to position it just correctly. Oh, there's a good one without. Now this one's not so bad. It has a pumpkin print on it, but it looks like it's pumpkin actually. The other side's cute. Okay. If I need to come back, I could probably position it a little bit better. Oh, there we go, like this. Get it wiggled in there and just get 1 pumpkin at a time. And then they just decorated it up. So however you want, looks like they have 4 on one, 3 on another. And I would just vary the sizes and the colors. So I'll put a tall pumpkin and then a little wider one. And then maybe, well, you really can't use the back side of these because it's going to disappear on the paper. So, I didn't think about that. Maybe that's why they only did 3 on some of them. Put this little guy right there, and then maybe a little gourd. That's cute. I'll use that one. And I just put them in a little cluster like that. And then this one. Looks like that's what they did. And then I need a tall one that's mostly white. You see how this one has like pumpkin print, which is not bad. It's just once I tuck it in, you can't really see it. Let's see if we can get a better one. Trim this. I think I can get it right there. Yeah. Okay, try this way. There we go. Okay. I think I got it. Just a little bit of blue on it, but that's okay. And there we go. We can tuck it in and it looks white. And a little orange one can go right that. Yeah, that's cute. I like that a lot, actually. Okay, and on this side, let's see what we have. Let's see if we can do 4 again. We'll start with the big one. Oh, this one's really cute. It's white, but it has a little bit of that blue pumpkin. I'm okay with that one. And let's see. well, oops. Put that one over here. I guess this one has a little bit of a yellow tone to it, so maybe I could use that. Overlap those two and then put the small one, something like that. That's kind of cute. And then the last one, I really want to use the blue side, but you just can't. It would just blend in. There we go, little white one. And I have a few left. And, oh, you know what? Do we want to put a little gourd? I feel like I haven't used the gourds much. It's kind of orange. What we can do is scoot it over there and then put the gourd on top like that. Oops. There we go. Okay. A few more little pumpkins left for another project. And I'm going to keep the circles like that. I like it, but I'm going to come back over here and work on the title area. Here we go. Because I want to spruce mine up, but this is what it would look like done. And your photos would go right across there. And they did do something a little different with the photos. And I think I was going to come back in and double map these, but I brought in some white, so we'll see. But so the photo size is actually 3.5 by 6 inches. So you're having the full width, full length of your photo and just a little bit cut off of the width. So I thought that was kind of different. Okay, so just want you to know that beforehand, but a 1/2 inch cutting off is not bad. But so basically a full-size photo. Okay, so I was gonna come back here and I was gonna look through my cluster bases to give myself a little something to put underneath there. So I'm looking for like brown or orange. Maybe even blue. Let's see what I have here. I'll go quick. There's an orange circle. I mean, a brown circle. Little brown fence. Even the tickets would be cute. This is a pumpkin. That's too big. I can cut it, but even yellow would probably work. Yeah, we'll pull that out. Let's see. Oh, there's some tan, or what do you call that? Beige. This is beige. This is tan. Too big. Looking for something a little smaller, I guess. More of the rustic fence. This has been in here for a while, some of these. Okay. I think the yellow might be too big, but I could trim it. Oh, you know what? It's too close to the tack, to the yellow on the sticker already. So I have a little bit of a piece of a rustic fence I must have been playing around with. That is kind of cute. I have a lot of room on this big circle, so let's see what I can do here. And I like this brown one. Is that all I pulled out? No white or anything? Thought for sure I'd pull out something white. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do something like that. I can even tuck it the other way. Oh no, I liked it for the way it was. Scoot it all over. Well, actually, I want it hanging off a little bit. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to get some foam to pop up my title. I'm going to use some foam tape for that. Okay, there's that. And I still want to add a little something. I want to add some leaves. Let's see what we have here. I also have brought in, I had some leftover stickers from, this was a Simply Page Kit number 9. I like the hearts. Okay, here's a leaf. Again, I want to put some leaves around. since it says leaves are falling. Let's see, let's hold off on that because I want to see what other leaves I have. I feel like I just saw some leaves today. Let me grab this life collection. I know I saw some leaves in this and I thought I'm going to use those for the fall. Let's see what we think. Here they are. Just today I was like, these ones down here, but do we like the shades? The green is kind of bright, but the orange and the yellow might be too big. Let's see. There's some smaller ones on here. Yeah, maybe I'll try it. If I can do yellow and orange. Bring that down. Bring it like that.
Yeah.
And
See,
then
that looks
maybe
good.
the little green one in there too.
Mhm.
There. That way I feel like my title or that little saying is not just floating out there in space. Yeah, it could be used. I really feel like this one could be used for a lot of different things. I think it would have been a lot more simple had I not cut down my papers. If you're looking for quick and easy, then I would maybe not cut these down. I think it would have been a lot quicker. So, okay, let me come on back to the gallery.